weirdest thing, and there's a lot of weird things going on. There's referees. If you look closely, there's some referees, and they're not calling anything. They're not calling. I see a travel. There's a 3-second violation. This guy is about to go out of bounds. I guess we're not playing out of bounds now. You're just gonna let it just be chaotic and not call out of bounds. There's another travel. Look at the ref. There's a ref on the baseline and there's a ref in the foreground too. Hey ref, I know we say spot whistles. Call travel.
Please. I think this is your right place.
There's a ref there. Call foul. Call foul.
Call something. All right, we gotta take a turn back to real sports with real whistles and real refs. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys coming off the season to forget, but I'll remind you, because that's my job. Cowboys, they lost Dak in week 5. Then they just kept losing right through the season, even in the worst division of football. So here we are, folks. Another off season. Dak's still unsigned, but at least he appears to be healthy. According to reports, Dak could be 100% healthy by April. So, all right, April, Nick, if that's the case, if Dak is 100%, what is his ceiling with the Cowboys this season?
Listen, I think Dak can be a top 10 quarterback, but I'm going to take this conversation in a different direction. I think we talk a ton about Dak Prescott, and yet we haven't talked enough about the most important story involving Dak Prescott over the last month, which is that 2 months ago, he had a second ankle surgery. And that we now sit here in March, and they're like, oh, no, don't worry. He's going to be 100% in April. And Brandon, they were very careful in their explanation for his second ankle surgery. They were like, no. Had nothing to do with the first injury. It's while we were in there looking at the first injury, we saw some other things we needed to clean up. And my concern with Dak is multi-layered, Brandon. One is that he still is not able to fully practice, fully play, and we're into March. And the other is, and this is going to sound a little counterintuitive, but how healthy he has been throughout his entire career could potentially work against him in this regard because he has no history of missing time due to injury. I looked it up. The last time he didn't play regular football was when he redshirted at Mississippi State. It's been a decade. And so he hasn't dealt with injury. He hasn't dealt with being away from the team. I know he's with the team rehabbing. But all of that concerns me to a degree. And the second surgery, and I know you suffered an injury similar to Dak's, not quite as traumatic, but the second surgery to me is not a blaring red flag or red siren or whatever, but it's concerning. It's something that I think you need to monitor until we see video of him, either tug of warring with a lion or box jumping with Myles Garrett. We need to see something before I'm, going to say he's going to be fine, Brandon.
No, you're completely right. I mean, this type of injury ended my career. 2018, week 6, playing against the San Diego Chargers in MetLife. What happened? 3 of our receivers went down. I went down with the ankle, snapped my deltoid, something that you're not supposed to snap. Odell Beckham Jr. went down, snapped his deltoid, and had a similar injury, compound ankle fracture, similar to Dak Prescott's ankle hanging to the side. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but Google it, YouTube it. It's gruesome. It doesn't look great. And Sterling Shepard also went down with an ankle. This is something that is serious. Now, look, nobody's ever going to be 100% healthy in the National Football League. You don't have to break a bone. You don't have to have some type of pulled hamstring. Like, it's tough. I've always said that the great players find a way to continue to produce at a high level, dealing with something. We never know what these guys are dealing with. Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady had to have surgery after the season. These guys played through these injuries. So I'm not concerned about Dak long term, but it is something for us to talk about because what happens is everything, your mechanics change. And as a player, you have to figure out, how do I now drop back with my ankle feeling a little off, or now I'm a little stiffer in this area. So Dak has to go through that process. Will he be back on the field and to his new norm, his new 100%? Yes. But with the process now is, all right, it feels a little different. Now what I need to do. But Okay,
that's enough.